Hey YouTube, so long time no video, right? It's been like about maybe 5 months since my last video, and that's primarily been due to laziness and being really busy. But also that's due to the fact that there hasn't really been a whole lot going on. It's been pretty steady, things have been, just day-to-day life. So yeah, I'm gonna try to be updating a little bit more. Um, Hopefully, because I would like to do more updates. Of course, I say that every single time, so it's like, what does that mean at this point? But I'm gonna actually really try. And again, that's what I say every single time. But yeah, yeah. But yeah, I'm making this video because I do have some things to update with now, so I figured, it's a good excuse, so considering I have news, so I'm not just talking about nothing. Um, to get back into doing vlogs, transition updates, etc. So the news. I recently had my assessment for because under MSP in Canada, you can have things like a hysterectomy covered by the government of Canada if you're a trans guy, or yeah, and then trans women have different surgeries covered as well. Um, so I had an assessment for that, which went fine. I'm pretty sure I passed the. They didn't really tell me. They just sort of alluded to the fact like you'll hear back from us in the new year as to when your surgery date will be. So I take that as I passed. I don't see why I wouldn't have passed. I mean, I've been living as a guy for 2 years in all respects, but anyway, that was really awesome, and I'm not so much looking forward to this surgery because I know it's going to be really uncomfortable. But it's a really necessary surgery, and for me, and it's one that isn't talked about too much, which is kind of unusual, especially for guys on testosterone, because if you're taking testosterone, then everything down there is sort of just stagnant and sitting there. And they say it's the equivalent to being postmenopausal, so you have like an elderly reproductive system that's just not doing anything for a while, and that can raise cancer concerns. A lot of guys sort of rush to get their hysterectomies when they find things like bleeding happens and stuff like that. They call it spotting, I think. I want to get it done earlier rather than later. I'm about almost 3 years on T, so getting to that point where it becomes important for me to take care of that. So I am looking forward to getting that, taken care of and out of me, because Lord knows I don't need that, and I feel like I never should have had it in the first place, but yay for corrective surgeries. And another piece of good news was that I am now also on the list for phalloplasty, which is bottom surgery. It won't be happening for a while, but it's just nice to know that I will eventually get that done and covered, because it's extraordinarily expensive, and I figured that I wouldn't get it done until I was much, much, much older. But I mean, I'm still going to be older by the time it gets done, but it's something in my future, which is awesome, because that's a surgery that, as the years go by, I feel I need. So that was my awesome news. I walked in and they told me that I could have it covered, and I just sort of, that face. I was pretty enthused about it. But again, a long way off, but I'm on the list, so that's exciting and awesome. And a little update in terms of work. I have a new job, as I mentioned before, where I am stealth, which is awesome. The only people who know are the people who handle my finances and who did the legal stuff. So that would be like the accountant and one of the top supervisors who I talked to about it. And I pulled her aside during one of my orientations and just told her, well, this is what all my legal stuff is going to say. This is why. And I didn't really get any farther than that until she was just nodded and said, okay. And then she asked me, follow up, like, okay, is all your information, including financial, going to say this? And I said yes. She's like, okay, don't worry about it. And I mean, no questions asked, no pressing or anything. It was just like, yep, done deal, which I really appreciate. And I know that I've had really good luck in terms of the workplace and not running into any trouble with this. Yeah, I'm really thankful that I do work in, I mean, I work in nonprofit, so I guess you'd expect people in nonprofit to be a little more, or in, social work area, to be a little more attuned to things like, gender variance and transsexuals in general. So that's been awesome. I work with kids, which I feel like it's like the ultimate test because kids are so um, they pay so much attention to gender and they don't really bite their tongues. And so you hear a lot of stories about people just being, like a lot of people use the word like clocks by young kids, just because they are so, their sense of gender is just so acute. I mean, like a lot of their questions are, like, are you like boy thing, girl thing? They're very involved in that gender binary world and very interested in it. And I have had no problems. In fact, I've had a lot of people come up to me, like parents, will say, "Oh, it's so unusual to see a guy working in this field, which is really good." Or, the coworkers will be like, we really appreciate having a guy around because it gives, the little boys, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with the whole, like, same-sex role model idea, but it's still, I mean, it means a lot to me because it means that I'm passing without question, and the kids, no questions, I'm just passing without question. And, it does hit me from time to time that, this is what it is to just live life normally as a dude, not have to really worry about anything, which is awesome. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, even for people who might not have passed so well initially. I mean, my voice was super high, so yeah, I mean, things do come into fruition and do work out. And, well, I guess I should do a body update. It's been it'll probably be about a year. It's a year in February for post-revision. I was working out really, really diligently until I got what might have been pneumonia, and I was really sick for a long time. I was still going to the gym, but I had really, really, really bad lung capacity, so I really wasn't able to run as much or to lift as much because I was just really tired, fatigued. So my gym work kind of dropped, and I'm having to work back up while still fighting a cold that just won't go away. So I'm getting back up there to where I was before, but I did drop a bit of muscle mass, which is unfortunate. Anyway, I'll shut up now and take off my clothes. So yeah, that is, I guess, 2 years. We'll just say 2 years post-op and then a year post-revision. And yeah, it's all good. I'm happy with how things are, and I am slowly building back up to where I was before I got sick. So yeah, that's been an update, and I gotta get back to doing these things because obviously I've fallen off the horse with knowing how to do these things because I'm all over the place with this video. But yeah, excuse my absence, and I will be doing more updates soon. Bye.